Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hudrico Live. I'm your host, Hudrico, and today we are getting not one, but two entrepreneurs who have taken their craft, their love, and are doing something with it. We have Angela Creary and Carlos Smith, a director and a clothing designer who are making a movie and who have also taken their designs and making their own clothing line. And we're bringing them both together to talk about future projects, what they've made, and how they have collaborated to work together on a project for a future movie that is coming out, and how you as a viewer and a listener can also get in on the action. You want to hear about an opportunity? Don't worry, I got you, because Hudrico Live starts right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hudrico Live. Hudrico Live. Hudrico Live. Hudrico Live. Hudrico Live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hudrico Live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hudrico Live. And today, we don't have just one entrepreneur. We got two. We have two people who have taken their craft, who have taken their love, their passion, and have made it into businesses. And what they did, which is so special, is now they've collaborated and they're working on the same project, just making even more magic. I can introduce them, but I think it's more powerful if they introduce themselves. First off, I'm going to go to my fellow veteran, who is now soon to be retired. I think you got the pen, didn't you? Didn't you just get the pen?
Got the pen.
Listen, I'm a little jealous. I'm getting the pen soon. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself to the people. Go ahead. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you guys for having me. Angela Baker Creary. I go by Angie. 22-year Air Force veteran. It's official as of 1 August. So now I'm just pursuing the things that I've always wanted to do, but was kind of, nervous to hop out and do it. So fashion has always been my thing. Wanting to be like a part of movie magic has always been my thing as well. So when you can combine the two, it's nothing but a blessing. So I'm definitely excited about the opportunity to work with Carlos on the upcoming film.
Now she's being modest, y'all. She talking about, fashion. She ain't even putting out there how she got a whole real life clothing line. But we'll get into that. Don't worry. That's what Hudrico is here for. I'm here to pull out the good stuff that they don't want to pull. Now, my man, Carlos Smith. Now, y'all heard of John Singleton, but guess what? We got a new John Singleton coming up in the game, man. He's made not one movie. He's made two movies, and guess what? He's working on a third. Carlos, man, tell the people about yourself, man. The floor is yours, sir.
Fair enough. What's going on? Carlos, a.k.a. Casting Films. Filmmaker of 15 years, actually, as of this year, so that's definitely a big accomplishment. Filmmaking has always been my thing. I love to tell stories. I love to be creative, and that's kind of my way to express myself and anyone else involved with what I do. So shout out to Angela. So, she reached out to me about being a part of the project, so I'm really appreciative of that as well. But other than that, my biggest goal right now is just continue what I'm doing now. Just keep telling stories, for as long as I'm here.
So let me pose a question to both of you, and I would love to hear both of you's answer. So you both are doing something that you love, and African Americans in our community don't always do what they love. They do what they've seen. My dad worked in the factory, so I worked in the factory. My mom worked on this, so this is what I did. But you guys are both kind of stepping out and going into new ventures that some people may tell you, oh, you want to get in fashion, girl, you crazy. You can't do that. You got to go buy your clothes. Oh, you want to get in film? Mm-hmm. Man, that's not what black folks do. We don't get into film. From both of you, how did you find the resiliency and the resolve to step out on faith and do what you choose to do as your passion and do it confidently?
Well, for me, it's been a long time in the making. Because I did kind of follow in my dad's footsteps for the most part. He was in the Army. I chose to go in the Air Force because he told me if you're going in the military, you're going in the Air Force type of deal. So I did my commitment. He was like, make sure you get your guarantee check and then you kind of step out there and do what you want to. Because of the pandemic, I actually had the time to put in the research that I needed to accomplish to actually bring the dream to life. So it just made a year now that I've been doing my Mobillionairez brand. I know it says Mobillionaire because it starts with one, and then when you join forces, that's when they become Mobillionaires. So definitely important, I feel, collabing with others, because what's the old saying? If you want to go,
you want to go fast, you go alone. You want to go farther, you go together.
Thanks.
Yep. So that's definitely one of my favorite quotes right there. And I truly believe in it.
You know, Jay-Z said, you know, what's better than one billionaire? Two. Carlos, same question to you, sir. Go ahead.
Be honest with you, that's been a lifelong dream of mine since I was a kid, and I didn't really speak too much of it until I was in high school. What really made me step out on faith was last year. Actually, it's already been a year that I decided to jump out on faith and made this a lifetime of a living, basically. So now I'm already 1 year of doing filming for a living, simply because I was miserable and I felt to myself, like, I know for as much as I've been doing this, like, I know I can really do well if I just focus on this one particular thing that I just so love, you know, something I love to do so much. So, you know, I'm really blessed to be in the position that I am now, to be able to do what I love for a living and also showing people what's possible. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing, showing people what's possible and you know, never be afraid to go for your dreams. So, and you know, big thing that you said too, man, like, you know, when people go out for their dreams and stuff like that, people typically will look down on you in a way like, oh, you can't do this, you can't accomplish this or whatever. Because guess what? Because they never tried it, they're not going to know until, you know, you ain't gonna know until you try. You can't knock something you don't try. So that's just where I stand with that.
You know, I believe a lot of people are afraid of failure, but failure is the first step to success. You don't even know what success is until you have experienced failure. You can't know what success is until you fail. So both of you, kudos to you to stepping out and trying your dreams, and as you can see, succeeding at your dreams. Now, Carlos, let me shift to you real quick. You did one film. You wrote the script, you put it together. Give me, what is the joy, the feeling that you get when you have put that film out, you see it on wax, and you are sitting down in your living room and you are watching a film that you put together? What does that joy take you?
You know, it's funny that you asked me that question, because I literally just watched Luke Lee for the first time in like a couple of weeks, and just sitting in my living room because I was just not doing anything. And I'm really like, hey, I really wrote these lines that these people are saying. And it's such a beautiful feeling to see your vision come to life. And that it's such a joy, man. It's such a, you know, it's something that it's hard to describe, you know, especially when you even see your movie played in the theater. I think the best experience out of it is when people watch your film and you get those reactions that you're really looking for out of people. No matter what type of scene it is, it could be a serious scene, people get sad, or if it's like a funny scene, people laugh. It's like that really is like it's a surreal feeling for me. It really is. It's always been that way since day one.
I can only imagine the feeling you get when you draw that, when you dialect that emotional scene, and you really get that emotion from the fans, or you get that emotion from the viewer, and you're like, you know what? I did that. I wrote that up. Now, Angie, I know that got to be the same when you walk down the street and you see somebody rocking that Mobillionaire. You're like, yeah, I did that. You know what I'm saying? I got that. I got that. Talk to me. How does that feel as a designer when you see your brand being worn by somebody else, and not even somebody that you told about it, that they actually went out and got it on their own because they said, yo, that design was dope?
Yeah. So it's crazy, especially the fact that I'm outgoing, but at the same time, I'm shy, kind of, you know, because I'm like more humble type of deal. So when we're walking through the mall back home, I'm from Mobile, Alabama. Just to backtrack a little bit. So the brand, the whole name, the premise behind it is a play on words. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. So that's part of it. And then the second part is I want to see more of us following our dreams. I want to see more of us trying to achieve millionaire and billionaire status. So Mobillionairez is the name. But when I walk through the mall, it's crazy because like I see people with my stuff on, and my daughter, she's 11. She's always like, "Mama, go up to them, tell them that's your brand." I'm like, nah. I'm like, no, that's not me. So like some people, they kind of know because they follow me on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, but other people don't. So I just like seeing how they coordinate with it or how they carry themselves. Like, who are these individuals and why are they like attracted to my brand type of deal. One of the biggest things was waking up and seeing Nico Calais rocking my clothes. So him and Tobias. So I sent them, like I was talking under one of his posts or whatever, because he was like, I need a fly design, something that me and my little one can wear for Christmas. And I was like, oh, I got that. And like, I was just, putting it out there type of deal. And then he responded underneath. He was like, I bet. He was like, I'm going to send you my address. So he sent the address and I sent it. And then I woke up and I had like all these new likes and follows. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And then my cousin was like, yo, she said, Keisha Cole, baby daddy, like rocking your gear, right? And I was like, what? I was like, oh, wow. So I clicked on it and like he shouted me out, everything. And like it's actually still on his profile. So that was love right there. Like that was a good feeling. Like this was a.
Now, I can't be a true journalist if I don't go to both sides of the equation. We always talk about the good times. But now let's flip that other side of the coin. And for both of you, you put a film out, just like there's the people who love it. There's some people who say, man, this movie's whack. Or what is he talking about? How do you deal with and I want you to go from this from your own personal standpoint, and how do you give this advice to somebody else who may be going through these rough patches when somebody criticizes your film and says, oh, Carlos film is whack. He don't know what he's doing. This is a rookie, blah, blah, blah. And they just give you that negativity. How do you balance that? How do you keep your focus in those times?
Is what's crazy about it is I didn't really care for it too much, to be honest with you. It didn't like, I'm not saying I don't pay attention to what's being said, but I don't let it affect me. But at the same time, I do take some of it into consideration because I kind of use it as some fuel to like be in a way for me to just can do better than what I did before. So basically what I'm trying to say is I don't take it personal. I just more of a, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I just kind of keep going. Because at the end of the day, my people just tell me, well, son, hey, Los, this is what you could have done better, blah, blah, blah. I got people that actually help me on that department anyway. So it's not like, I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. And that's just with any movie that's out anyway. There's movies out there that we don't like. We'll say, we'll be quick to voice our opinions. So it's the same thing. It's almost the same thing. I got to look at myself as I'm a filmmaker. People are not going to like everything I put out. That's just what it is. That's part of the game. Same with music, whatever you put out, this is how it is. So at the end of the day, I'm proud of what I've accomplished anyway, regardless of what people say or not. But I know what I'm doing is in the right direction. So, I just keep it moving regardless.
Definitely. And I think that's a great mindset. Now, same question to you, Angie. What about yourself? What about yourself when somebody says, this shirt is plain? Well, I don't really like what she got going on here. Well, how do you deal with that?
Well, initially, so it was basically educating them, because a lot of people, they see like because no offense to people who, deal with gilding or whatever, because like a lot of t-shirts are gilding, like some of the shirts in stores like Walmart or like what your sports memorabilia stuff, like a lot of it is gilding. So me, I grew up on Ralph Lauren, so I like the feel of things. So I like softer cotton things that's going to be more durable. So I started using Bella Canvas, and most people weren't aware of Bella Canvas, what it was and stuff like that. So they were like, oh, like you charging this for this thin shirt, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, this is ring spun cotton. This is the same type of stuff that Ralph Lauren uses and all of that type of stuff. So it was kind of like a educational type of deal. And then I would share some stuff to my page about Bella Canvas and how they're all about the environment, and they're all about like teamwork and like people bettering themselves. And that's what kind of drew me to them type of deal. So once I kind of explained that, then it was like, oh, okay, cool. And then like the gilding soft style, like it is comparable to it. So I was like, hey, it's kind of like this, or this is because of that. And then I had someone hit me up saying that their shirt, like it was a Mooney shirt. They were like, well, it started to come up. And me, myself, like I wear my stuff all the time. Like I try to wear it out on purpose because I want to see how long it's going to last. Like I want to see what people are spending their money on. So like I'll sleep in this joint. I'll go wash the car in this joint. Like I'll take the kids to the park and I get dirty and I may wash this joint like twice a day. So I'm like, yo, like if my joint still looks good and I'm doing all of this stuff, then, you know what I'm saying, something is there. So I like to be knowledgeable. That way I know what to expect from people. Or if they're like, oh man, like that shirt too busy. Well, this particular one is for a certain audience. Like everything that I put out isn't going to be for everybody. Everybody may not be digging like Mooney. So when I explain what Mooney is, how it's letting kids know, like from a young age, that it's okay to like reach for the stars. It's okay to like follow your dreams, your passion, and not be afraid. And then I'm also talking to the kid within that adult as well. So that's why Mooney was pretty popular. So I mean, if someone, like sometimes like my cousin, I say, hey, like, why didn't you move this over this way? Or why didn't you start off with Mobillionairez? I was like, because this is the definition T. Like this is a Mobillionaire, one person. And then the next step is the team. So adding the Z to everything. So once I explained that, then people were like, oh, okay, got it. Because at first, like people was like, oh yeah, Mobillionairez. Oh, that's the name of the brand. I was like, no, it's in the back. Mobillionairez, like that's the name of like the team of the culture that I'm trying to build type of deal.
I understand. So having them being educated on the product is going to be a huge step to making them understand what you have going on. So now you both have something magical going. How did this collaboration happen? Because I know, Carlos, you coming out. Los, you got the next movie coming, but now Angie, you coming in because you wanted to get into movie magic, like you said. So explain to me how this union of the team have came together to make this next movie that is coming out. Talk to me.
So it's actually funny because the meet started on a movie script that I'm working on. And I was looking for someone to shoot it for me. And I was talking to like a friend of mine back at my old base. And because like he was special forces, so I wanted it to like have some realistic aspects in it, but not, stepping over into the lane, like telling too much military stuff and get myself in trouble. And he was like, why you want to know all this stuff? Because, the questions that I was asking, like, it's kind of suspicious. Like, so I told him, and then he was like, oh, he was like, my dude, like he does movies or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he linked us and I was talking to him and he was like, yeah, I don't know if I would be able to shoot that. He was like, but my dude, Los, we went to film school together. Like, I know he can. So he shot me some of his work. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm digging the action, I'm digging the angles, all of that type of stuff. And I like how his films like progressively got better because you know how some people just start off, like they stick like to like the basics and they're scared to kind of reach. But from the beginning, like going back through some of his old works, like he always kind of pushed the limits. So I was like, okay, cool. I can work with that or whatever. So I reached out and I shot him a message. I was like, hey, I have this script that I'm working on, and these are the things that I want to happen like within the film. So it kind of like went from there, and then I would see like posts on I think it was Luke and Lee. And then I would like comment stuff underneath or whatever. And then from there, like it started kind of like a friendship or whatever, where he was like, oh, okay, well, she may have something going there. You know what I'm saying? She always has like good advice type of deal. So it kind of like went from there. And then I would say, "Oh, hey, have you thought about this? Or you should try this, or you should add this aspect in there. Like, I noticed that you don't have like anything for the females. Like, we need a love component. Like, that'll really take it to the next level." So like, that's kind of how it went for real.
All right, now I got her side. Los, what you got going on? How'd you feel, Los? What you got?
Man, she practically just said everything. She pretty much covered the whole thing, honestly, man. Nah, but it's definitely a fact. Nah, she was like, even when I was, writing up the script for the new movies, because she was giving me look, I definitely give her credit because number one, there's a new character named Tanya. She was the reason that character existed because she gave me that idea of Luke's character. I mean, you was telling me like Luke's character need like that side of Luke. And that was just like, it's crazy because I never thought about it for as long as I've been doing it in the series. I was like, you know what, you're right. So it's like those things right there. It's just like, saying when someone over the years, I've been working on being more open to just suggestions and stuff like that, which it's never been a problem for me. It's just more so I just write and that's it. But now as I kind of grew into filmmaking, I'm more open to suggestions, just because you never know. Like, people can come up with the greatest ideas that I could never possibly think of. And I'm really happy it happened because it's like now it's like at the end of the day, I know I'm going to need help. I know it. And I can't sit here and act like I don't need help or advice and suggestions or whatever it is. So it kind of grew from that point. And now it's like we're just really close to beginning everything and just kicking off. And then, now from that point, I'm pretty sure, things going to happen in the future as well after this specific project. But it's just the beginning of many things. So that's where I sit with that.
Well, with that being said, I want to make sure that we tell all our viewers and listeners now, you have a very unique opportunity that you guys want to make sure that we get out to people. Carlos, if you want to explain what is that opportunity? I don't want to spoil a secret. I'm going to let you put it out, Carlos. What we got going on for people, man? We'll talk to them.
Well, no, the biggest thing is that, my casting call is this Saturday, June 12th. So that's the big thing right now is, we're basically in casting call week. Everybody, I don't send 50 plus emails to remind everybody it's a big week of preparation and mental preparation and, reaching out to everybody, letting them know what's going on. To be honest with you, I'm extremely excited about it. Because the last time I did a casting call, like a physical casting call, was my last movie, Soul Hood Prime, back in 2018, because, COVID was a thing. We can't really do it last year, of course, for Luke and Lee. But, this is the first time. And every time I've done a casting call for any of my films, so many people always show up. Like, even one time we had to extend the casting call another 2 hours because so many people came. And for Jacksonville as a whole, I'm originally from Jacksonville. People in Jacksonville know what I can do. So every time I do a casting call in Jacksonville, a lot of people show up. And people say I'm really modest about it because a lot of people have not even capable of even doing what I've done. But at the end of the day, it's just something I love doing. It's just something. And the biggest thing about it, I just love meeting new people and seeing what they're able to bring to the table. And there's also and it doubles as a networking opportunity as well. So if the actors are waiting around in the line or whatever it is, people always start networking because they need something to do anyway. So they go make it productive before they even get ready. So it's a beautiful thing. That's just, it's definitely a beautiful thing.
So this Saturday in Jacksonville, in Jayville, Duval County, it's Dade County.
Yes, sir.
People, we don't really, mess with y'all Duval. No, but there's a casting call this Saturday. But for everybody who is international, because it's an international podcast, I got people in Germany. Don't worry. We have another option. Because there's another part to this. There's another secret. I'm not going to put it out. What's the other secret? Who's going to tell the other secret? For the people who can't make it to Jacksonville, what can they do?
I'm going to let Angela speak on that one.
All right. So there's a lot of people that's been reaching out to both Los and I because they're like, oh man, I can't be down in Jacksonville this weekend, but I really want to be part of the project. So we kind of sat down and we were like, yo, what if it was like a virtual one where they could still audition, still shoot their information to the Gmail account and then sit down one-on-one, because some people, they may not feel all that comfortable because oh, I'm going for this part, but it's like standing in line for the J's. Be like, wait, if they only got 10 and a half, and I'm like 15 people back, ooh, and you kind of looking at everybody's feet like, dang, what size they wear, kind of sizing everybody up. So that'll probably make them feel more comfortable doing that virtual one. And then I'll let Carlos talk about how we're going to announce like the individuals. That's pretty dope. I can't front, that's dope. But the virtual casting call is going to be the 16th through the 18th. You have to send an email to the Gmail account.
What is it? You can't just say that without saying what is the Gmail account we need to send it to?
So it's soulhoodsaga@gmail.com.
Soulhoodsaga@gmail.com. Y'all make sure y'all put that down. Soulhoodsaga@gmail.com. Go ahead, continue.
Yep, and it's also on the flyer. So it's going to be 16th through the 18th. So just shoot us the date that you're interested in and the time. Not promise that exact time that we'll be able to get you in, but they'll kind of give us an inkling as to when we need to set the actual times from. And then once the 16th through the 18th is gone, like that's the end. And this is going to be the last one that's going to be shot in Jacksonville, as well as the last one to the sequel. So you definitely going to want to be part of it if you can, because we taking this thing global. Like we hitting up. So I'm military, or soon to be retired military. So I have access to USOs all over the world. So we're taking this thing global. Like we reaching out Germany, Japan, Italy, everywhere. Like this thing gonna be big. You don't want to miss this opportunity to be part of it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Listen.
What you said?
First off, let me make sure. I want to listen. I'm gonna tell y'all before we even say. I want to audition the 16th, the first day. Oh, you know what? I want to be the last day so I can be the last thing y'all remember. Whatever the biggest role is, I want to audition. I want to be the last day, the last time. So just book that slot for Hudrico. You tell me whatever role is the biggest role, I'm auditioning. I want no confusion. I'm putting it on wax so there's no confusion. Y'all want to say, we didn't know. I'm telling you now. All right. Listen, first off, for all that you guys got going, I want to thank y'all for taking the time to sit down with me, man. Where can my people keep up with you guys for the clothing lines, for the movies? How can we keep up with you? What is your social media handles and all that, the good stuff? Angie, I have you go first.
So for me on Facebook is Angela P. Creary. I also have an official like Mobillionairez way on Facebook. And then on IG is Mobillionairez, MOBILLIONAIREZ _ IG. And that's where I talk about like the drops that I have and stuff like that. And then definitely like very excited about this executive producer role. So you're going to be seeing T-shirts. You're going to be seeing opportunities to be a part of the project monetarily. And then for those who put in, was it at least 50, Carlos? Those that put in at least 50 will be thrown in the bucket, and you may win a chance to actually come to the premiere. Red carpet event. Yes. I'm just saying it's invite only. So
I know I got an invite coming. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm gonna put me a suit on. So, you know what I'm saying? It all fancy.
Yeah, that red carpet going to be amazing, man.
Listen,
so yeah,
it sounds exciting. Carlos, man, where can we keep up with you, man? Where can we keep up with Los, man?
Oh, so on Instagram, Cast2 Films, CAS2 Films with an S. Facebook is facebook.com/LOS2K6. I also do have a YouTube channel as well, which of course you can, just watch my videos, which is also LOS2K6, LOS2K6. Soul Hood does have an Instagram and a Facebook page as well. So both, you can just basically type in Soul Hood Movie. That's all one word. On Instagram and on Facebook to just follow with updates, which you'll be seeing more updates soon. But other than that, anyone that had more information or that needs more information about the casting call, definitely reach out to any of those pages. We'll definitely make sure to forward that stuff to you so you be well prepared and ready to go.
Well, listen, this brings me what I like to call a final timeout. For the final timeout today, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, What we saw here is two people who are following their dreams. Their dreams is what they wanted to do, and your dreams are what you want to do. You have to block out the noise of what people tell you that you can't do. You have to stay focused to what you want to do, and you have to take that determination and say, I will accomplish whatever I need to do and get done whatever I want to do, no matter what anyone says, no matter what the time is, no matter what it is, because you can achieve it if you believe it. You just have to go after it. Like my guest said, you can go fast alone, but you go farther when you go together. I'd like to thank my guests for taking the time to join us. And ladies and gentlemen, that's another episode of Hudrico Live in the books.